All right, and we are live. Welcome to another episode of Foreign Domestic. Sorry we're a little late, but appreciate everyone out there jumping in and watching, joining us on this Mother's Day. And before I get too far, I'll swing it over to Alan for our
Cool.
introduction.
Excellent. Yeah, I am the cause of why we are late. It wouldn't be the first time nor the last. I don't have quite my ducks in the row. But as it stands right now, the participations list is reading Big Al, Jet 001, JH586 here in the room, PC, Bullet Empire, Primal Wanderer, Robin Jones out there swinging the blue wrench. Thoughts of an old soldier. Yeah, things going pretty decent this week. It just needed to start out, as always, with this.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Fan-freaking-tastic. So yeah, just getting the ducks in the row this evening. Got a couple of good people here in the room with us already. Probably end up with some other people jumping in as the show moves along. But we've had Rob DNY out there, Keith Gregory jumping in, Rob Painless giving the thumbs up, Phil M. Rivers out there in the room, the gun snob, Walter Davis out there. And looks like we're getting more people jumping into the room as I speak.
Yep, absolutely. We'll start out with Jamie. What's going on, brother?
I'm good, man. Went to see my mom a little bit. Went had lunch after church with the wife and her mom. So happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Thanks for the link. Thanks for having me on.
Yep, awesome. Always good to have you, brother. Then we got the one, the only, the sneaky little bastard himself, the Bearded CV82. What's up, brother?
Oh, just the usual chaos as any other day, as you can see behind me. So,
Awesome. Good deal. And Daniel jumped in. What's going on, man?
Well, hey, I'm finally home before it got dark, It's been a little crazy since you did the time change thing. Oh, and there's the dogs at the front door. Thanks for the invite. I got to let these dogs in.
Off to an excellent start.
Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. I doubt that my mother is watching. If she is, she probably shouldn't. But I do want to take the opportunity to thank her for wiping my ass as a baby. So yes, thank you very much, Mom, for getting that shit off my ass.
Now that we got that out the way.
Yeah, I'm thinking you're pretty much on your own on that one, bud. You're looking for backup from the rest of us.
Well, I just figured that we'd go ahead and hit the ground running. It's an exciting day for some people, not quite as exciting for others. If you're not a mother, then it's not very important to you. If you're a mother, you kind of just wish that your children would not bother you that day. For the most part, unfortunately, some mothers can't get away from their children, and I feel for you. I feel for you. So, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Yeah.
So much love, brother. So we got a topic for tonight.
Throwing out there, brother.
There's a lot of stuff on my mind, man. Like Kenny shooting his chrono, the 350 Legend thing. John Wick's coming out next Friday. It's Mother's Day. None of us would be here without our mothers. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff going on.
All right, well, let's start from the beginning. Let's go with Kenny shooting his chrono. As
Did
I
I
said
say
in
that
the video, he needs to have insurance. Now, we'll make a video on this next time I can get to Daniel's, because Daniel is my insurance. And we'll explain that in the video. But you got to have insurance.
Well, it's been suggested that we put a piece of AR-500 steel up in front of our chronos, which is a great idea. And, you know, most of them, I guess, nowadays, I've got the cheap Caldwell one, and it's got a wire that comes back to my phone 15 feet. So you can pretty much put your chronograph in a bunker kind of like deal and still see what you got going on there and everything. So, Kenny, I hate you shot your chrono, man. I've seen one fly apart before and live and in living color. But, yeah, you're testing bullets. You're wanting to know your velocities and stuff. And then all of a sudden, disaster strikes.
Oh, what you got to do is you got to go over to the TR's channel and you got to request a Chrono Saber 3000.
Okay.
They made up between him and
Tool Monkey.
Tool Monkey. Thank you. I took a blank there for a second. Between him and Tool Monkey, they came up with the Chrono Saber 3000, and it is an awesome piece of invention.
Hey, Jamie,
Yes.
what's worse, shooting your chromo or hitting it with a little bit of overspray from cleaning your guns?
I would say shooting it.
Okay, so a little bit of overspray wouldn't be bad then.
Depends on what your definition of overspray is, man.
Well, when it makes it look like the chrono has chicken pox, maybe.
Yeah, because I do use Edge Red, but wow, what's going on? You got something to tell us, Daniel?
Hey man, as long as it still functions, that's all I care about.
Okay, we're all good. I was cleaning in some of the overspray, and I was like, the next day I look at it, it's like, oh crap. Okay, this thing's going back in the sleeve, back in the safe. So it's got a couple little light spots here and there.
Not
Yeah,
on
I'm
the
not too worried about that.
Big deal. It's got a few pimples. That's not a big deal. It'll still function. I mean, it hasn't been blessed, so it's not holy, I guess.
No, it's not holy yet. But, I figure if it can get by with, shooting muzzle loaders through it and not getting powder burned, I figured it will, it's all safe and good and stuff. But it just, don't have stuff around when you're doing spraying aerosol, gun cleaner, and stuff like that on anything that you don't want to have pimples on. That's my public service announcement for this chat. And you all went quiet, or did I lock up?
No, it should be good.
You're good.
Okay.
So something that got put out there by the bearded CB here in the room was the hashtag TCS 2000. Which I kind of wanted it to make it 2007, but nevertheless 2000. And so I don't know entirely what that video was about, because the second I saw bearded CB in a kill, I couldn't listen anymore. I'm just like, wow, how can you get away with wearing a kilt in Iowa? It's so goddamn fucking windy in this state.
It's nowhere near as windy as, like, say, Wyoming. And besides, if you lost all track of thought by seeing me, I'd be a little bit more worried about wearing a kilt around you rather than the rest of the state.
That's probably a wise decision.
No, it's absolutely phenomenal. Bearded CB, I don't know if it was strictly your idea that you came up with, or it was a collaboration with AOK. At this point, Milsurp Mike has also thrown into it. You want to talk about it a little bit there, Bearded?
Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. Well, it was about a month beforehand was when I got my kilt, and I just got it back from the dry cleaners that weekend. But from, well, being outdoors, all the bug spray and stuff. And but no, it was probably a long time coming. I'd been thinking about it for a little bit, and then there was the manner on how to do it. And what better way than kind of relayed back and forth with Tack on it for a little while, as far as kind of ideas on how to do it. And then luckily the weekend we were out there at camp, and it did turn out to be perfect, which was all I could ask for. But there was just, this one guy who always sends people over the past few years, he's raised, thousands and thousands of dollars for everybody else. Well, shit, it was about time that, he just, had his nice little surprise and sat back and, enjoyed it. And Merry Christmas, Happy New Year's, and we love you, Scotsman.
I appreciate it, brother. I do. I may not, jump up and down or anything, but trust me, I appreciate it.
Yeah, so,
Well, as
so
tall as
anybody
you
out
are,
there that
jump up
doesn't
and
know
down.
anybody out there that doesn't know what we're talking about, Bearded CB has the video on his channel. You better go check it out. If you don't know, I believe you just threw that link in the side chat there, Bearded. Excellent.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's very, very simple VRs, people. Very simple VRs. Everybody here knows who the Crazy Scotsman is. A ton of you have been able to meet the man in person, and so yeah, go check it out. Let's see how many VRs we can get. If we can make this an absolute clusterfuck for Bearded CB and AOK to try and handle. I want to see how bad we can, if we can stress out Bearded CB enough to where his beard looks more like the Scotsman's with no gray.
Well, there's the other thing I forgot to tell you. We're going to do the live drawing on foreign and domestic at some point in time after the Scotsman reaches 2,000. So I'm, sticking some of that on you too there, bud.
Fantastic. I'm sure we can figure that out. I figured you were going to say you're going to stress him out to where it looked like Jamie's beard.
No, that takes education, experience, and a pair of shears to shape it properly.
There ain't no razors hitting this thing, man. That's just the way it comes in.
That's just El Natural, huh?
Yeah, man. It's my natural. My mom got a hold of it today. She's like, thing's getting too long. She started grabbing it, I'm like, if anybody else did that, that'd be a serious price to pay. But since you birthed it, I guess you got it right.
Sounds about like my mom every time I go home.
Alan, I think I just figured something out here. Time travel is real. What everyone sees the Scotsman there, that's him present day. The bearded CB is Scotsman 5 years from now, and Jamie is the Scotsman 50 years from now.
Come on, Daniel. I'm not that much older, if any older than you are, brother.
No, yeah, you're only what, 49 like I am.
Yeah, let's go with that. That sounds
Okay.
good. We can cook on that burner.
Come on, you guys in a day over 40.
I'm liking that even better.
Yeah, 40 in dog years, maybe.
Yeah.
That are leap years. Oh.
Who was that comedian that Milton Berle, I think it was, said he was celebrating his 39th birthday for the 49th time?
Who's Milton Berle?
Oh, shut up. You know good and well who he was. You watched him on Johnny Carson every Friday night, man.
I don't remember anything before Sam Kinison.
Well, that's not because you're not old enough. That's from other things. So, yeah, I know. I'm right there with you, brother.
I was twisting the lock to lock my mouth shut.
I know.
Well, I gotta ask, bearded, the kilt itself, what kind of kilt is it?
This is the camouflage BDU Tactikilt. I got it off of Amazon by one seller. They're called Best Kilts. And there's a couple other ones on Amazon as well. But the other one I was really looking at was going to be like about a 3 to 4 week lead time from Scotland, and they were expensive. So yeah, I went with this one.
Yeah, you order anything from back home, man, it ain't cheap. Especially kilt wise. Not cheap at all. You're 4 digits plus.
Yeah, anybody that's not seen a real Scottish kilt up close, with all the pleats, all the starch ironing and all that pressing and stuff, man, those are some classy things. And I kid you not, I'm impressed.
It's a lot of wool to make one of the full on with the tartan and everything else. That's a lot of material.
Yeah, traditional one, you're looking about 15 yards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it absolutely works of art. The way those things are put together, assembled, stitched, they are absolute works of art. Thoughts of an old soldier out there going combat kilts, interesting. And yeah, the main kilt company that I used to get the majority of my kilts from is a company now out of Seattle called Utilikilts, and I don't work for them in any way. They've never given me anything for free. But they've got an absolutely awesome line of kilts. And I used to rock those things. That they had a combat digital desert camo kilt, survival kilt. Just phenomenal quality stuff. Absolutely awesome.
Oh yeah, there's the other one I was looking at was damn near Kiltum, and they're a little bit more spendy than this one, but they're also a U.S. made one for the utility type kilts, and then Utilikilt 2 was another one I was looking into, and they got some pretty decent stuff. But yeah, you're looking at spending no less than $50 and upwards of $200 for the ones like these, except the side pockets on this one readily accept an AR mag, and they got the wallet pocket in the back, which kind of makes it nice.
Well, and that's one thing that I used to dig about the survival series Kilt by Utilokilts is the side pockets actually snapped on and off the kilt. And so I would wear that particular kilt whenever I would fly. And so I would just grab the kilt, pull the pockets off the kilt, and throw the pockets up on the X-ray belt. I know it's significantly different in many other countries, but you go to fly anywhere domestic around the United States, you got to empty out all your pockets, take off your shoes, take off your belt, give them your ID, a urine sample, all kinds of stupid shit in order to get through a flight. It's completely different in many other countries, though. That particular kilt was absolutely phenomenal. To answer thoughts of an old soldier, no, I did not. I do not have one of those.
All right. I think all this kilt talk is driving Mr. Holster up the wall. What was your next topic, Jamie? You had a whole list going on.
Who has seen Headspace, the new social media type webpage for the Reloaders Network?
I personally have been having a little bit of issues with it allowing me to sign in. It's given me some issues personally.
But you have tried to get on in Headspace, or
yes, I have.
Okay, it's anytime you guys have any kind of problems like that, you need to let me or somebody from over that way know, and let us get to working on it. Bacon will fix it for you in 2 shakes. I'm sure it's just a matter of settings in some form or fashion. But I can usually get in touch with Bacon fairly quickly. Usually. Today's Mother's Day. He's no telling where he's at.
Hey, Bearded, you have the side chat up?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw just in time prepping?
Oh, there it is. Oh, okay. Yeah, what's let me see here. See if he's got his email on his channel there.
So yeah, I have I've been interested as to what's rolling over there with Headspace and what that's all about. But like I said, I've been having trouble getting signed in. So what's the draw?
Well, it's basically a guys like us. It's like a Facebook for us. It's very Facebook oriented and detailed, and we can you can go to the home and see what everybody's up to, or you can there's several groups like on Facebook, and I'm a member of several of those groups. One of them is all about the Lee Classic Cast Turret Press. Mario, you need to get over there and join that one. Of course, they've got several of them, too many to rattle off. Outdoors in general, several different gun groups. Everything Revolvers is one. So, yeah, it's I've only been over there a couple of times. I've not had a problem getting on, but not to say that you haven't, but I found it very interesting, and it's pretty fun to pass the time away. So I recommend. Let me see if I can put a link. I think it's headspace.thereloadersnetwork.com. But I'll work on getting a link to there.
Yeah, I haven't been on there yet. I need to. I haven't had a chance yet. But again, like when I first signed up for the Reloaders Network, I had issues there too. It just, for whatever reason, it just took a minute to work properly. But like Jamie said, if you have issues, I've reached out to Bacon, and usually within a couple of minutes, it's fixed. He's pretty good about getting that stuff taken care of.
Usually he is. But I think this is going to be a lot of fun for a lot of folks. I really do. And I think I got it. All right, this is going to take y'all to the page that I was looking at. I hope it's decent. There you go. There's your link, fellas. So go over and try it out. See if you can get on. I'm sure you can.
Hey, Jamie, why does that link say cheapkoreanwives.com? I'm just curious.
Yeah, well, we'll have to work on that too, because I prefer the Russian ones. But
Yeah, because I mean, after you're done with one, you don't want another one an hour later.
ouch.
That didn't take long.
Yeah, while we're at it, let's offend everybody. So
Yeah, he does. The link for Headspace is out in the side chat. Anybody wants to check it out, please do so. If hopefully you don't run into some of the issues that I have. But it sounds like it's going to be a pretty good setup for us out there.
yeah, and same with the Reloaders Network. Even if you're not a reloader, if you're a content creator, you want to get some stuff out there. Just get in touch with Bacon, man. I mean, there's more on there than just reloading stuff. There's a lot of guys doing just firearm type stuff, right? Right, Scotsman?
Yeah, there's a lot of shooting things over there. There's all kinds of stuff. It's not just reloading. So there's plenty out there.
Michael Signs.
A man that is welcomed because he has a beard, Michael Signs.
Good evening, gentlemen. Good evening, everyone on the side chat. Good to be here. Thank you for the invite, Alan.
How the heck have you been doing, sir? Having a good one?
I am doing all right. Just been trying to catch up with everybody on YouTube and catch up with family and friends and send my happy Mother's Day regards to all the mothers out there and all that good stuff. Take care of my dad and all that good stuff. Weather's still kind of crappy, so again, I've been pretty much inside all day today. I went out for a little bit just to run a few errands and just get random stuff done. And yeah, just been here and put up a video today that I don't know if I know some of y'all have seen it, but it was just something that I was talking to a friend, recently, and we all need to take care of each other, but the thing is we can't forget to take care of ourselves. I know last year, my dad had was in the hospital and stuff, had medical issues, and I let myself go, and man, I'm really feeling it, and I had kind of a rude awakening recently, and I need to just get my ass in gear and get moving. And I suggest everybody do the same, because we only got one life and we got to live it well. And if we intend to take care of others, we need to be around to do so.
Yeah, I have to agree with that, man. That video you put out earlier today is lit me up. So, y'all talking about beards. I'm getting ready for church this morning and watching Sunday today, and they've got a interview with Keanu Reeves, and they're talking about basically he's making the circuit because he's got that new movie coming out. I know most all of us enjoy the John Wick movies. I know I do, but they've got number 3. You'll be hitting the theaters this coming Friday. So, and we'll talk about that. But you were talking about beards. Right after that, they started promoting the interview that they're going to have this coming next Sunday, a week from today. And they're going to have David Letterman on there. And, he's been retired for a few years now. You guys will not recognize David Letterman. He's got a beard like mine. His hair's the same color. And he's out there just trout fishing, fly fishing in a stream. Living the life of Riley, man. I'm talking about how cool is that? I mean, that's sorry as dirt. But you got that kind of money, you can be that way, right?
Yep.
What they call mad money.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to the new flick coming out. Positively am. He's not only trained just for the movies, and it shows through. I think in these particular roles, it shows through that he knows how to actually handle firearms.
Yeah, and if you watch him on Instagram and stuff, you'll see him training with Terran Tactical and learning and everything, and you can tell he takes the time to really get in there and understand what he's doing. So, and Terran Tactical is pretty cool, so they're a pretty good one to watch.
There was a request out in the side chat that I'd like to go ahead and fulfill. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. So there's that.
Amen.
Right.
So
Yeah, how that can be misunderstood and misconstrued, I don't know. I would actually have liked to have seen if we were to just make up some other amendment that could have possibly gone into the Constitution. I would have actually liked to seen the rights of parents to be parents shall not be infringed. So much today. The media, the school systems are the ones that are raising our kids, and we're not allowed to be parents of our own children anymore. It's becoming more and more frustrating to me. It's one amendment I would have liked to have seen.
Well, you see, back then, though, that would have made just way too much sense, as most kids back then were homeschooled. And even now, kids that are homeschooled today are sometimes frowned upon because their parents teach them things like responsibility and morals. And if it's a guy, how to be a gentleman. If it's a girl, how to know a gentleman from a douchebag and being a lady. And, there was that. And nowadays, it's just, oh my God, somebody wants to open the door. That's too taboo. And met some the other day that actually did open the door for me, like, 7 years old. It was awesome. And I'm not that old, but, hey, it's pretty cool to see some kids still doing that.
You saw the white beard and thought you were Santa.
In the off season, just minus a few cookies.
Will over at Just in Time Prepping asked if Is having a beard a requirement for being on the panel? And to that, I would say probably not, but it probably helps your chances a little.
Yep.
Yep, I know Chico's been on here a couple times, and he swings back and forth between the little goatee and just the mustache. So,
Well, and that's because he doesn't have an option. That's pretty much the extent of his options, I believe.
Chico
I
gets
think he
on
drew
just
that on
fine.
with an eyeliner.
Chico just gets in on the cool factor, guys. I mean, let's be real.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
a
he
Tony
shot his oh wait, yourself. Oh, what do you
yeah,
call
his
that
chrono.
thing? Yeah, it's chrono.
Yeah, I remember that. He's got a piece of ballistic glass now.
Yeah. I'm trying to get him to cut me a piece of that before I shoot mine, man. All these guys shooting chrono making me nervous.
Make me nervous about getting one.
Well, just get that magneto speed and you'll be fine. As long as you get it lined up.
I
right.
could buy 5. Whew. I could buy 5 decent Caldwell chronos for that.
You probably
Well,
buy
there's-
Chronos all day long at that point.
There's 2 different models. There's a really expensive model and then one that's probably about twice what a Caldwell cost.
Must have come down on price. It's been a couple years since I looked at them, but yeah.
Well, they got the full-on model, then they got the Econo model. The one you're thinking about, I think, is about 400, closing in on $500. And they got one that's a little bit below 200, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I know the other one last time I looked was probably a year or 2 ago was around 250 for their smaller one, was 250-ish about that point. So it come
Yeah.
down a little bit.
And CB, another thing you gotta realize too. One thing I've had to come to grips with is when people are telling you what they pay for stuff, they're probably going to exaggerate on the low side a little bit. You ever know? Have y'all noticed that, or is that just me? No.
I don't know the price.
No,
Mm,
I'll do that. I'm guilty of doing that myself. I'll say, like 250, I'll be like, oh, it's about 230, 240.
Yeah. So when somebody
I
tells
remember seeing them and oh, yeah, no, I just remember seeing them thinking that was a cool thing and seeing what they had on the market at that point about a year or 2 ago. And I want to say their about going rate was around 250 at that point for the one. So,
well, and that's that's buying straight up retail. I've been to quite a number of pawn stores and so forth in my general area, and I've seen a number of them in pawn stores too. So it's also like Facebook Marketplace or there's a number of them out there that people are selling off too. So if you're really looking to get one, you can get a used one too. If you look around, they're out there.
yeah, we got to do our due diligence with our shopping around too, because I've seen some unbelievable prices on eBay for stuff that I'm like, people actually buy that piece of junk for that much money. I'm like, come on, people. Like I've seen, and I think it's foreign sellers too. I think there are folks out there in the world that are just going to take a widget. Okay, we're going to set this price on it. And if I sell 2 of them, I don't have to work for a month, that kind of thing. But if you shop around, you can find good deals on whatever it is you're wanting to buy. But I've watched Johnny's Reloading Bench a lot, and he uses that. And now he's stepped up to the Lab Radar chronograph. And he's got a Patreon account and stuff like that. So that's how he does all that stuff. And he's got ton of subscribers, and I understand that. I just don't need to know how fast my bullets are going that bad, you know?
Yeah, I don't need to spend $500 to figure out how fast my bullet's going. As long as it's going fast enough to hit the target, I'm good.
Yep.
Really dialing in loads and stuff. I definitely see the purpose for it. It's if you do stuff like Alaskan ballistics, for instance, he does a lot of different testing of a lot of different factory ammos out there, and so there's a major purpose for him to have an active a good chrono. And as Paul Harrell will tell us, chronos vary from chrono to chrono, and depending upon weather temperatures and elevation and all that, you're going to get a little bit of different reads on different things, but it at least gets you in the ballpark. You don't have to have a super phenomenal machine that could detect how many times a hummingbird is flapping its wings in order to get a good read on the speed of your projectile.
Yeah, I think you pretty much hit the nail on the head there, Alan. It definitely serves a purpose, but it's not something that's really highly necessary unless you are going to fit that niche of testing, a variety of bullets to give you a ballpark figure of how fast, each one's going, or what, just to give other people a better idea of what they're looking at or what they're looking for as far as performance out of their particular firearm or out of a particular caliber.
So Fuzzfork out there throws the question out: do they sell life insurance for chronos?
I think it's called a warranty.
I see. Next time I get to Daniels, I'll make the video, but I'll let you guys. You got to have insurance. Now, they don't make life insurance per se for it, but they do make insurance. You just got to be smart about how you play that game.
I kind of figured that it's going to be kind of tough to run it by Codwell, for instance. We'll use Codwell as the example. Run it by them. Oh, well, I had my chrono set up, and then I went to go turn it on and realized that it has a 45 caliber hole in it. I'm going to,
Yeah, this is defective. It's got this big old hole right in the middle of the screen right there. Yeah.
I have no I got there.
A lot of times what they'll do is if you call them and let them know you shot it because they expect it, they'll sell it to you half price. A new one half price is usually what they do. But still, that's, if you have the insurance, you're not going to spend that much. So
That's interesting. I have to check on that because I still have mine in pristine condition as we speak right now. But one thing that surprised me when Chico shot his and when Kyle shot his, both of them contacted Caldwell and asked for parts to fix it, and they were like unresponsive. So, any of you guys out there had any experience with that?
I have yet to do any customer service work through Codwell, so I can't speak to it, but.
Okay, since you guys are back on chronos, I got a question here. If you're standing still and it measures one speed, is that speed going to change if you walk forward and shoot through the chrono or start walking backwards and shoot through the chrono? Will that make the speed change?
And what would be the purpose of this application, Daniel?
To really make Scotsman start sweating because I can't shoot worth a crap walking forward or backward.
Okay.
See, this is the key. When you get this insurance, you have to have someone that is a capable shot because they're your insurance. So, picking someone like Chico, I probably wouldn't advise it since we already know Chico shot one. You want to find someone else that hasn't shot one yet. That's the key.
Quite a while ago, working with Cody, I was explaining to him about shooting while on the move, while taking steps, and it varies quite a bit on where your step placement and your shot time is. You don't want to be taking a shot while you're in the middle of a stride. You want to be able to take your shot as soon as you level out from getting your feet planted. It's kind of difficult to just describe, but there is actually a video on my channel that shows a little bit of being able to land shots while on the move.
Yeah, I guess I just learned that I can't do that worth a crap. I thought it was a decent shot, but I learned the other day I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, let alone shoot.
It's more than likely just a timing issue.
Yeah.
And being able to, because I mean, I don't know if I can even demonstrate it. But it's a matter of when you take a step, you're going to be coming up and back down. And so as soon as you hit that solid foundation is where you launch your shot. You're going to have a little bit of this when you walk and just up and down as you take your steps. But as soon as you hit that spot, you're going to bounce and level out. And that's when you take your shot. It's more than likely a timing thing. And so possibly slowing yourself way down and being very analytical about how you're stepping and when you're taking your shot might be the key to it.
Well, I'm just going to throw this out here. We're going to call this Hold My Beer and Watch This Challenge. You're going to go out there and show me how Pops Quest does it. And anybody out there that can do it, do it. And the winner of this whole thing is going to be me because I'm going to learn how to do it.
Well, Alan is right. There's a lot of different movements coming into play when you're doing that, and the key is keeping it on a level platform, so as your eyes are not changing with the sight. That's one of the big keys, because anytime you're moving, like you said, that gun's going to move up and down with you, and your eyes are going to change to that sight. So you got to try and learn to keep your eyes level with the sight and don't change that position as much as possible. But
I agree.
we'll make videos.
Well, I
If
think
We
to
can
answer
do the Hold My Beer challenge.
I'm sorry.
You're good. Oh, Jamie, I got another one to send you, and I got another one on the way.
Cool, man. That'll put us up to four or five.
So I got one more on the way. So once I get that one, I'll mail them out. So there'll be 2 more coming your way.
We'll only need one more to have a big explosion. That's going to be so cool. But to answer Daniel's question, yeah, you moving back and forth is not going to. Oh, Michael's got one
Yep.
too.
That one's got to get in the
Are you
mail.
going to use it?
Huh?
You going to use it, or you want to see it blow up?
Oh no, I'm gonna send it to you. I just need to get a box to stick it in.
Cool, man. Well, that
I
might
think
be
that'll
it.
fit.
Let's see.
Well,
I got
I think this
one over here.
those flat rate boxes. I just took
That's
the
going
little.
to be cool, man.
I just took the little pan out of there. I'm gonna keep that. because I could use that. But everything else can go.
Go through
Firearms
that.
101 has a comment out in the side chat. I've been walking down targets for years. It's a great training tool. Your foot doesn't have to be planted. Train, train, train. I agree with that. But getting started doing it, I think it's kind of like baby steps, for lack of better terminology. It's just kind of baby steps. People are accustomed to having both feet planted, and being able to really focus on sights. And when you're on the move, it's a bit of a different animal. And so baby steps in getting the feet planted, and your timing comes around, and the more you train with it, the better you get with it. It's like anything else. The more you train, the better you get.
I think it's a matter of.
I wanted to point out his comment because I do agree with him.
I think it's a matter of just understanding, the way you walk, the way you move, the way your body moves, the way you hold either your pistol or your rifle, and understanding, your gait and how to stabilize your gait, or rather stabilize your firearm as you're walking or as you're moving, whether it's forward, backward, side to side, and keeping that either that rifle or that pistol, level, and being able to focus on your sights, your sight picture, and ultimately your target where you're going to be shooting. And it's just a matter of, like you said, practice. You just have to get out there and do it, and just try to figure it out, because obviously everybody's different, and the way everybody moves is different. The way everybody walks is different. I think I'm speaking on myself, or for myself. Just watching, and I know this is going to sound terrible, but watching movies or watching video of actual military people and how they train or how they move when they're, during an operation, and, studying that and seeing how they move and keeping everything level and steady, that's kind of taught me a means of practicing. Like every now and again, I'll take my unloaded AR, I'll strap it on, and I'll just move around, my house, walking around furniture, walking through, and kind of simulating clearing a room or avoiding obstacles or negotiating obstacles, but yet all the while keeping my eye on my target or on my sights, and what's in my sight picture. So that's just something that I do.
Yeah. PC Bullet Empire tells you quit being a pussy and just sling lead.
I tried that. It looked like I shot the target with a shotgun.
Speaking of which, where's the Swede?
He's probably busy.
Yeah, he is a family man.
He is a family man, and I know he's still working on trying to get a house. So,
Well, hopefully he is signing papers as we speak. Well, we hope the best for him in that endeavor.
yeah, he's been knee deep in that. I know he had another one last weekend, but unfortunately that one fell through. So he's trying. It looks like CB's got to jump out. So you want to say anything before you head out, brother?
Yep, just been a great evening as usual with all y'all guys. We've got, well, like said earlier, we got all several stages of the Scotsman here as far as age group goes. But Mike, good seeing you again. Hope you're doing good. Dan, Jamie, of course, Alan, or Jan, however it works. And don't forget about, Jan's giveaway for the 1,000 subscriber push. And also there's the one out there for the Scotsman too. It's some pretty good stuff.
Yeah, have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you very much for jumping in there, Bearded. We always like to see you in this time frame, along with all the other time frames that you time travelers jump around in. I still don't quite understand it, but you know, hey, it is what it is. But
You
thank
haven't
thank you
watched
very,
that
very
one.
much.
Yep.
So Daniel, is this a new thing that you're just trying to find out if you can do, or
We'll let this truck go by and car. I got my butt handed to me on the third stage of a classifier because I couldn't walk and shoot at the same time. I was keeping up with the big dogs, and but then it came to that, and I went all the way. Ended up getting 17th out of 20, where I found my two weaknesses. One, I'm shooting a decocker gun, so from the single and double action, I'm pulling all the way through on my first shot. It's costing me a second or two on that. But as far as getting shot placement quality, that when I was walking forward and walking back, it just went all over, and I dropped a lot of points. So there's my two weaknesses. I know I got to work on.
Oh, like I told you on the phone when you called me, you didn't finish last, and you didn't get DQ'd. So you got two bonuses to be proud of.
And I only had one procedural.
So you did good, man.
yeah, that's absolutely. I've heard so many people say you will find your weaknesses. You start shooting any kind of competition, you will find your weaknesses.
Yeah, I found them at the end of the day. But I shot with like 7 other guys in my group, and one of them was the president of the club, and the other ones were all shooting for master. So it's like, okay, I'm going to learn something on this one. So that's how I took the whole day. I picked this group out because that's where all the big dogs were playing, and they were all really friendly and great guys.
Yeah, that's the key, man. You're trying to learn, so that's good.
I know there's some competitions here in Illinois, but what's kind of turning me off from it is they're actually in Chicago, and I don't understand that, how they would be in Chicago and not somewhere else, outside of the city. And just the whole concept of, having to go into the city with my firearms is a very off-putting concept.
Yeah, I thought Chicago had all kinds of laws about, keeping pistols out of their city.
Exactly. That's why I was really confused by that. And it's like in the city. And I was like, no, I don't think I want to go into the city with my guns.
Yeah. Get pulled over for, a turn signal or something. Now explain all the ammo and guns.
Exactly.
You gotta say it's entrapment.
Yeah, exactly. They'll see, any kind of pro gun sticker on my car. I actually do have an NRA sticker on my car, and I'm thinking of just taking it off. I think a friend of mine gave it to me, and I just threw it on there. Yeah, I think that's pretty much a target on my vehicle that I don't really need to have.
Yeah. Have you been on practice score yet?
What's that?
Have you been on practice score yet?
I did visit it, and actually that's where I saw the listing for for that competition. Well, there was several of them actually, and all of them were in Chicago, and I was just like, I don't know.
Well, if they're on there, they're legit, but that's just kind of weird that they're in the city, like you said.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, I know they're legit. You know, I don't have any doubt about that. It's just the whole idea of having to go into the city with my guns is that's kind of offsetting.
There's got to be some outside of the city, I'm sure.
I'll probably look, you know, towards like Indiana or Wisconsin. I'd rather get out of Illinois.
I don't blame you one bit.
Well, and some of the competition guys like Pops Quest have put out a some type of it was a website where you can find competition events. Does anybody have a clue what that is? I had completely lost the paper I wrote it down on.
Yeah, it's practice score.
Yeah.
Practice score. It's just practice score.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go on to Google, just type in practice score, and you'll hit their main link right off the first two.
Yeah. And there's another one too, but I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, that's
went on
all. Go ahead, Jamie.
I went on there to look for some competition type shooting, and the only thing they have close to me is long range rifle. So I'm thinking of getting into that with my Seiko 270. I'm more of a rifle guy anyway.
They have USPSA up in Canton. They have USPSA up in Canton. I know it's a little bit of a drive for you, but it wouldn't be too far.
No, it's only like an hour, man.
Yeah.
You talking about Big Bears?
Yeah. I forget the name of the shop now, but yeah, they have. There's a range up there. They have them.
There's also one in Smyrna. I get their emails, but I think it's kind of in-house because it's not on practice score. It's called Adventure Outdoors, if you remember them, Scotsman from Smyrna.
Yeah, I think the one in Canton. Was Big Woods.
Big Woods, yeah. Big Bear, Big Woods, something like that. But yeah, that the place in Adventure Outdoors down in Smyrna is not very far from that place where they make those G-word firearms, and not very far at all. So obviously, most people are using those particular firearms. So if you go in there with something real, you could probably do pretty well.
Yeah.
Just thinking, you know. So speaking of which, Alan, isn't it about time we find out what kind of firearms folks are sitting around the house on Mother's Day with?
But yeah, that's a grand possibility. Me personally,
Hey, if you have to get up,
I did a little bit of cleaning. So this particular firearm is not safe at the moment. I literally was just got it, put it back together right before the show. So this particular firearm is not safe. But this one that always resides back here, yeah, she's safe.
And what kind is that? What is that?
The same old P07 Urban Gray that still lives in the belt line. It's so hard to take this thing off and put something else in there. I'm having some trouble, even though I have been looking at a couple of other little things here recently. Yeah, Mario Mosen, you'll get infected sooner or later. The virus will hit you. Jamie, do you have any firearms near you?
Well, it just so happens I have the Smith & Wesson 586 6-inch 357 Magnum, and it is very safe.
There you go.
I like this thing. I really do.
No one would ever know.
Yeah, you name your channel after it, so I guess it's kind of obvious. But yeah, when we finish this, I got to say something to Mario. Y'all go ahead.
All right, Daniel, what you got, man?
Well, here on my side in new Harry's holster outside the waistband holster, I got the CZP01, and it's in a very safe condition right now. And Mario, just shoot a CZ and shut up. Oh, I forgot to say before I pulled that out, I was supposed to say, here, excuse me while I whip this out.
All right. And Michael, what you got?
I got my trusty old Rock Island 1911 45 ACP.
There you go. Good deal.
That's
Good
nice.
deal. I just got the old 357
Yeah.
and the Harry's holster, of course.
Yeah, I got the cheap Uncle Mike's holster for my
Oof,
45.
oof, run away.
We're gonna have to do something about that.
Yeah, I need to. I'm still looking at getting a shoulder rig though. I'm liking that. What is it? Alien wear or alien gear or something like that.
No, you want a shoulder rig? I'll send you a link.
All right,
I'll get your email from Alan. I'll send you a link.
there you go. Yeah,
Alien Gear makes some pretty good stuff. So does Crossbreed, but they're pretty pricey.
well that alien wear wasn't too expensive and it looked pretty good. But yeah, Scotsman, you need to get together with me so we can swap information.
Yep, we can do that.
Poor Mario doesn't realize he's talking up the High Points. And the High Point factory is only a couple miles from my house. High Points are made by my relatives.
And I gotta ask, is that why you don't own any of them?
No, I have a boat anchor.
Do you?
Well, the carbines, those pistol caliber carbines, they come out now. Those are reliable.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
I have a friend.
Shoot one.
I have a friend that I go to church with. He's in my Sunday school class, and he has the High Point in 45 ACP, and it's pretty cool.
They're uglier than sin, but they work well.
If you're going to say that, say it right. That's uglier than homemade sin, man.
Yeah, those things are absolutely terrible. They're heavy. I shot Robin Jones's 40 cal PCC, and the thing was just dirty, nasty, disgusting, heavy as hell. But it ran well, and it was accurate. I was quite surprised why they don't stick to PCCs and get away from that stupid thing they call a pistol. I have no idea.
Because they still have to market for any pistol under $100. That's why.
Yeah. Thoughts of an Old Soldier says he has the 45 carbine and he loves his. So I'm assuming they take 1911 magazines. I don't know. I'm just asking, really. But I got a thought for y'all. Y'all know I'm big buddies with Willie the Bullet Man out in California. And he used to have a 6-inch 686. And he has parted ways with it over the years. But He's left-handed. He has a left-handed leather holster for my pistol that he's going to send me. Now I'm right-handed, but my thinking is when I'm on my bike riding down the road, and if you know anything about motorcycling, your throttle is on your right hand, but and your brake is on the left foot, whereas the left hand is your clutch and the left foot is changing the gears on a Harley anyway. Some other bikes are a little different, but I was thinking of wearing that particular holster, and I could cross draw with my left hand from my right side in case of an emergency on the bike. But my natural inclination is just wear what I usually wear, and just if somebody's shooting at me on my bike and I have to draw my gun, the first inclination, I'm going to have to pull the clutch in and go to draw, so my hand's going to come off the gas. So I'm going to be stopping. Isn't that pretty much the best line of defense if somebody's shooting at you anyways, just to get out of the way, just to stop? I mean, I don't know. I'm asking.
I'd say pretty much in any situation, defensive situation, the best thing is get out the way.
Yeah. So that's my thinking as far as being on my bike and having some kind of altercation like that is just stop, do what you got to do, take care of business. I mean, if you stop and get off the bike and draw your weapon, by the time they've come back, you're going to be ready to deal with whatever is whatever you're facing.
Well, the other part to that too is they're probably not expecting you to stop.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, getting off the X, as they say, which is why it's a very positive skill to be able to walk and shoot at the same time. Daniel, you don't want to just be a standing target. I mean, you know, if you've got somebody launch and lead at you, you don't want to be a stationary target.
Yeah, I think it ultimately comes down to fight or flight. You know, you need to make that split-second decision. Am I going to just take off, or am I going to stand my ground, find a location that's, you know, beneficial to me that I can fire from and not just be either stationary or, you know, find a stationary position under cover that's beneficial to you, or if there is no cover, be able to move and return fire accurately and effectively.
But when you're on a motorcycle, you're in the open, so you're, you know, everything, all your thoughts change.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys don't ride. I guess most guys don't ride, but Simpson Road Larry said, grab some more throttle. Now, if they're shooting at you, buddy, they're probably going to be driving faster than you're riding. So, yeah, just just kill the throttle and get off the side of the road, get out of the way, get off your bike, and
well, hold on. What's the scenario here? Are you talking about somebody on foot or somebody in a vehicle?
My thoughts are somebody in a vehicle. See, I do when I'm on the road, I'm usually riding 600 to 700 miles, and then or at least I can ride a couple of 100 miles. Just going out for a ride is a couple of 100 miles.
Yeah,
it's half a day or all day thing. But when I'm on the road, one of the places I like to go is out to the Arkansas-Oklahoma border, and that's about just under 700 miles from where I live. And so a lot of that is on 2-lane divided highways or the interstate. And, you know.
Well, here's an idea, and I don't know, maybe this is a dumb idea, but in my mind, it makes me think about the old cavalry stuff, you know, where you stop, bring your horse down, get behind your horse, and fire from a defensive position. Now, that might not be wise to do it, you know, by a motorcycle that has a big old gas tank on it, but I don't know.
Well, the best thing probably to start with, because from listening here, in today's world that we're living in, that sounded like you were riding on a major either east to west thoroughfare for the country or a north south thoroughfare that goes through the country, and you're looking at some of the big main arteries for drugs. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably what's in your head going on.
Yeah, you don't know what you're going to run into on the interstate out there, but you're a long way from home, and typically I'm in a small group or by myself. So, you know, 2 or 3 of us. And the thought of what I would do in a group ride situation, I've not come up with an answer to that. Like, say there's 5 or 6 of us riding in a staggered formation, going down the interstate at 75 to 80 miles an hour just to keep from being run over.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody opens fire on you. What are you going to do then? You've got 4 other people. That's one of those things where everybody's got to have this thing thought out, and you know.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna have to break. Yeah, you're gonna have to break and get off to the side, because sitting on a bike, you're just, I mean, you're a duck sitting on a pond.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's where you need to come up with a game plan, you know, with the rest of your crew. Talk to the rest of your people, and you know, come up with some kind of plan. Communication is key.
Yeah, and it's like any other scenario, guys, which Alan preaches all the time. You gotta, and will too, from just in time prepping. You got your situational awareness. You've got to have a plan and then work your plan.
Yep.
And I don't have a plan for that scenario yet, and that's one of the things that's working in my brain. Being a biker.
Yep.
Oh, you're off to the right start, at least thinking about it and trying to get a plan put together.
Yep.
So, in all actuality, how much time is it going to take to come off that throttle and draw your weapon? I mean, you're going to be dropping in speed, and you have less control of the bike at that time. Now, coming to a complete stop and drawing your weapon, you're still kind of you're a very open target no matter what you do. You're on the bike, unless you're going to be sporting freaking body armor everywhere you ride, which I sure the hell wouldn't want to. You're kind of an open target wherever you go on a bike. Now, you know, it's kind of apples and oranges, and a lot of food for thought there, Jamie. That's actually a very, very good topic.
Well, I just wonder how many in our audience actually ride motorcycles. I got a feeling it's going to be more than I'm thinking, but I'm thinking maybe a 2 or 3.
Well, just over here to my right, when you said that, I saw this. Okay, so I have at least one. The other one's too shy to raise the hand. So, I mean, yeah, and that's just in my apartment here. So, you know, it's probably not as uncommon as it might not be. A lot of people just don't talk about it, and getting it out there, getting the topic brought up, it gets the food for thought going. I wouldn't be amazed if we saw some of the folks out there put out a video on different scenarios of things that can happen to you while you're on a bike. It'd be good to watch. That would be some awesome content.
Yeah, Fireside Coffee says train with the weak hand, and that was my initial thought when I started this conversation. I said cross draw with my left hand. So yeah, that's a thought. And like I said, we got one at your house, Alan. We got Big Al rides. I didn't know that.
Well, a while ago, I put out on video. I carry normally at the 4 o'clock position. Question is can I draw my weapon with my offhand? Yeah.
And see, this is one of the reasons why I'm looking at a shoulder rig, because no matter what, in any kind of sitting situation, whether you're at home, whether you're in a restaurant, whether you're in your vehicle, whether you're on a motorcycle, you have real quick, easy access right here or right here, either way, whichever hand you're going to use, as opposed to having it on the waistband.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's something I've been thinking about for a while. And the thought of Willie sending me a left-handed holster really got my mind cooking about learning to cross draw and shoot with my offhand. And but imagine if you're, like Daniel said, a dope dealer, and you're driving down the interstate, and maybe I cut you off a little too quick, or I got too close, or whatever, or maybe you're worrying about me getting too close and seeing what you got in the back of your vehicle or whatever. And you start shooting at a guy on a motorcycle, and all of a sudden, 2 rounds of .357 Magnum come crashing through your window. Yeah, yeah, but the control of your bike while you're trying to shoot, though, that's going to be, I think I'm kind of like an idea of slowing down, getting off the bike, and, dealing with the situation at that point.
Yeah, if they're behind you and you're going down the road, your best friend is 2 big steel ball bearings in your left-hand pocket.
Yeah.
Yep. Or make yourself a bunch of caltrops.
Now, the ball bearings work great. I lived in San Diego for 4 years. I known a lot of people that rode, and there was a lot of people that would harass bikers. Doesn't matter if they're civilian or, whatever. They'd get up there and ride their butt, and then, almost try to bump them. And whoever was, whether you're in the back of the pack, or if you've got your girlfriend on the back, or you're just by yourself, those big 1-inch steel ball bearings in your left-hand pocket, if they can't see to harass you, game's over. You just ride away.
Yeah, that's a lot more meat than what I know of. Even just a box of BBs. You have a whole bunch of BBs in your vest coat pocket, and you just lightly toss a handful over your shoulder. It has a little bit less of a projectile effect, but it does a similar job. Not nearly as intense as 1-inch ball bearings. Damn, you're just one mean motherfucker.
No, that was how my buddy's girlfriend, she said they had just had that happen to him. She was on the back of the bike, and they were coming up, and they were trying to knock him off the bike. She just tossed a set of ball bearings over her shoulder, and that was it. She thought her boyfriend was always joking around, but he always made her carry them ball bearings right in your pocket. But since that's the old California. Those have been outlawed, and now they can only wear like sprinkles, the rainbow colored sprinkles, and they'll just throw sprinkles over their shoulder now.
Well, in all that bike talk, Josh Benoit brought up, putting a shockwave holster on the bike, and that wouldn't be that bad of an idea if it was a semi-automatic. Being a pump, you have to kind of be like that whole Terminator thing where you throw it in the air and catch
I
it
was
and
gonna say you don't
rack it like
any
that.
Terminator.
Yeah, get you that PW7 shotgun. You can just flip that bitch.
I mean, look at the man's beard. He could pull off Terminator.
Get a Henry's hog leg.
Yeah, there you go.
Learn to swing it down like the rifleman.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yep.
you could get the mare's leg, 357. You could do that.
Might as well just get it in 44 mag.
But he has a 357, so you gotta have the same long gun as your handgun.
Yeah, there you go. Well, it's technically considered a pistol still.
Yeah,
But
keep
it's
it the
basic.
same though.
A little, yeah. Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I'm working on that too. I'm trying to come up with a lever gun, long gun, and 357 Magnum 20-inch barrel. But
There's a few nice ones out there.
yeah, I'm thinking Rossi 92.
Can't go wrong with it.
Especially being a tinkerer that I am, I kind of like smoothing up the actions on these lever guns. So a lot of guys say that they're kind of rough when you first get them, but as you use them, you wear them in and they smooth up. But yeah, Scott says cowboy combo is always a good way to go. So I like. I don't have a single action Army or a single action handgun in 357 Magnum, but I've got 3 double actions, single action, double action. So I'm thinking that'll work. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to loading up some 357 for the rifles and hopefully find one round that works really well in all 3. But I know that's not going to happen. The same thing that works well in a snub nose is not going to work well in a 6-inch revolver or a lever gun with a 20-inch barrel. What are you thinking, Daniel?
Oh, I was just breathing. Well, Jamie, you can do what I did when I was surrounded by the gangbangers in Philadelphia.
Oh my goodness.
And it ended up in about a 40-minute chat with some young guys. Tell them, yeah, I'm with this youth group from the church, and we start talking about God. Oh my gosh, I thought I was going to have to kill some kids that were the same age of the kids I took down there.
Well, that's the ministry that I'm in, Daniel. I don't know if you've ever heard of Christian Motorcyclist Association. We try to take the word to lost bikers. That's what we're all about. And I've talked to some very intimidating looking fellas that a lot of guys that were in my Sunday school class at church had run away from. And I go up and start talking to them. It comes from those relationships that you build by talking to people.
Well, and if they sense that you're not afraid to die and you're not going to draw down on them, you just say a prayer heading into it, because that's all you're going to really have. Because I mean, when I took the youth out, yes, I will pull a gun to protect them. Will I pull a gun to protect me when they're not around? So far, I haven't had to.
Yeah.
I mean, just honest, respectful. That's it.
Question out in the side chat, possibly Jamie, you'd have the answer to this question. Did someone say there was an app for Headspace?
I think we're working on that. I don't think it's up and out there yet, but I think it's very close if it's not already up.
The way I get on Headspace is I have the Slack app. I just open up the Slack app and there's a thread about Headspace, and I just click on the link and boom, I'm there.
It's very cool.
All I did was just register. I used the same, name and everything the way I registered for Slack, and that way it's easy to remember. But ever since I've been doing it like that, it logs me in automatically, so I don't have to sit there and log in and all that. I just hit that link and boom, I'm in, and then I can just navigate wherever I want to go, to whoever's page or my own page or whatever.
And it's fairly intuitive too, don't you think, Michael? I mean, when you get started in there, the things they all kind of relate to each other, and you get to where once you've been on there enough of all your devices, you just kind of go in there and it knows it's you, and you don't even have to log on anymore.
And as far as like the format too, it's like almost like a cross between Facebook and MySpace, where it's very easy to navigate. Just in a few minutes when I first got in, obviously, whenever you're starting something new, there's that, slight level of intimidation and you're kind of confused on what you're doing or whatever. But I found it to be very easy to navigate. And before I knew it, I was, sending out friend requests and I posted a few things and then I saw a few other people's posts and, so it's relatively easy to use. It's just a matter of just getting on there and just looking around and seeing what you find.
There's somebody that jumped into the side chat. I just wanted to announce that they were here. It's Kyle Lusk. Yeah, Kyle Lusk is in the room. If anybody just wanted to know, just letting you know.
I talked to Kyle earlier today. Hey, Kyle. He wanted me to call him up and give him a little info on some black powder stuff.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that black powder isn't quite as prevalent as I would expect it to be. I would kind of expect people to be a lot more into black powder than they are. The only time I honestly have ever messed around with black powder was during 4th of July. I had a former brother-in-law that had a couple of really nice old black powder guns, and we'd fire basically fireworks into the air using black powder. But that's like the only experience that I have using black powder.
Yeah, I mean, like I was telling Kyle earlier, one of the reasons why I got into the whole black powder thing was when I got into the whole prepping and bushcraft and that kind of genre of YouTube and somebody had brought up the idea of carrying a firearm in a SHTF situation, and if you had to bug out and this and that, and this kind of big long argument ensued about, well, what kind of caliber, what are you going to carry? You can only carry so much ammo. And then looking at, longevity of an SHTF situation, eventually you're going to run out of ammo. Of course, you could try to scavenge or scrounge for it and this and that. And then how, if you're in the mindset of a reloader, how are you going to reload for, ammunition? And then it kind of all boiled down to, well, go back to the root of firearms. What was like one of the first real functional firearms that was used in the building of this nation, which is a flintlock. You know, you had the mountain men who were tough as nails, explorers that lived out off the land for, you know, years at a time. You know, in some occasions, uh, they'd be out there for months and months, but they had the knowledge of, well, if you find a rock that can throw a spark, if you know how to create your own black powder, if you know how, and you have, you know, just small, minimal amount of tools that it takes to melt down metal that's soft enough to form into a bullet, you know, you got everything you need. And in calibers that are big enough to take down a bear. So when I really thought about it, you know, it seemed like a pretty simple answer to me is, you know, that's the way to go. If you're looking at longevity wise, getting, you know, if ever we were to get into a situation where, you know, things just went way south, way, you know, for a long time, I think, you know, a flintlock would take you a lot longer and a lot farther, you know, than a modern firearm. But I don't know, you know, that's just my opinion.
It's absolutely phenomenal information to know, to have the skills to be able to do that. If you know shit hits the fan, man, I mean, that's going to be a lot more information and skills knowledge that I don't have, which is why I was so interested in reloading to begin with, so that I had the skills, the knowledge, the tools to be able to do it. It's, you know, anything that you can learn every day.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why I'm such a big advocate for, you know, black powder arms, is there's a lot of really good benefits that still to this day we can, you know, take advantage of. One, the fact that it's a non-NFA item, it's a non-ATF regulated item. You can have it shipped right to your door. Again, if you have the knowledge, which is very easy to find, actually, if all you got to do is just go to your local library and look into any well-versed encyclopedia, and you'll find the recipe to make powder. You know, you want to keep it kind of under the radar. You don't want to be going around telling people that you're making black powder, but you know, it's not a difficult process. The difficulty comes in just the refining of it and getting it, you know, analyzed properly for whatever purpose you're using it for. That's where, you know, the science becomes more of an art. But you know, just that small bit of knowledge, you know, United States, there's several minerals and stones that can throw a spark off of a piece of steel, you know, a piece of hardened steel. You know, very basic metallurgy knowledge as far as how to test the softness of steel, you know, of certain metal to be used to fit in, you know, to melt down and put into a mold and be formed, you know, into a bullet, whether it be a round ball or a conical. You know, the information's there and it's readily available. And like I said, I mean, I advocate highly, you know, that anybody that's into guns, firearms, reloading, whatever it may be, definitely look into black powder guns. I think it's something that everybody should have at least one. And if you're going to have it only one, I highly recommend a cap and ball revolver, because even now you can buy, there's a punch die available, a punch and a die kit, where you can take aluminum cans and cut a strip out of it and punch out your percussion caps. And, you know, again, just a little bit of chemistry knowledge, you can fix up percussion, you know, the filament to go in there, and you know, you can literally make your own ammunition and be very, very highly self-sufficient for a long
That
time.
old army revolver you have's got the press built in. So there you go.
Exactly. And you know, from a reloading standpoint, that is basically, you know, for beginning, you know, the root of reloading, you're obviously eliminating the cartridge, or this is rather, you know, before the cartridge was even invented, you're loading directly into the gun, and it's all, like I said, it's all self-contained, so you become very self-sufficient.
Speaking of creating your own loads and your own rounds, Scotsman, I know you've gotten past the point of throwing your own lead, melting it down, getting it into the molds, out of the molds, powder coating. Have you seeded anything into cases yet?
I have not yet. I'm too busy finishing loading up the 3,000 rounds I bought of Acme. So once I get those all taken care of, then I will.
Got to get that red lipstick out of the way before you bust out the blue.
Yeah. Yeah, because I don't have to want to change my dyes back and forth right now. So I got them set for these. So knocking these out first, and then once I get those done, I'll move on. But I have got about half of them sized right now, so I got to go through and continue sizing them back down to 3.56.
Yeah, I personally am running. I hesitate to say this, especially on open air, but I'm running hesitantly low on 9mm brass. So yeah, that's pretty much where my reloading is at the moment. I'm still I accumulated some during last weekend's exchange, but yeah, I need to acquire myself some more brass, and then I'm gonna start really pushing to get some more rounds through the press and into the boxes.
Just go out, get 1,000 rounds of Blazer bullets, and pick up the brass after you get rid of the 115 grain bullets that are in them. Just pick them up. Pick them up.
Well, Battle Bean says he's got you.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to relay that information to that fucker.
Yeah, Battle Bean, Scotsman will give you my address.
Yeah, I'll get it to you, brother. Now my phone's blowing up.
So y'all need some 9mm brass.
See, you had a cap and ball revolver.
You did it, Alan.
You know, I opened the can of worms. I was pretty damn hesitant, and I went ahead and pulled the trigger. But yeah, at the moment, it's just 9mm brass.
Yeah, I think we got you covered. Looks like you're gonna get probably 1 or 2 packages in the mail.
Just a minute, I'll find something here. Hold on a minute.
That's all good, Mario. That's part of my entertainment. I'm good with that. I have yet to get myself a wet tumbler. I'm going to. That's gonna happen. I'm probably gonna end up stealing one of JH's tricks and creating my own barrel for that. Right at the moment, I'm still doing. I mean, I'm sitting here eating peanuts because I use these jars. I use these jars to clean my brass and scrub my brass in. So I go through a lot of these damn things. I don't go nearly through as many as your 6 covered sweet teas though. Man, that dude can drink some damn sweet tea.
Alan, let me give you some advice from an old man that's been married a long time and likes shooting. Find a girl that does not mind hand washing all your brass. When you find that girl, marry her, and you'll save the money on the tumbler. Or just buy the girl you don't like the most a house, and that you'll get off cheaper in the end.
That's
Well,
what I've
yeah,
been
I know from personal experience why divorces cost so much. It's because they're worth it. That's just the way that rolls. So
Check it out, Alan. It says 9mm. This is a 3-pound coffee can. Full. And it's all clean as a whistle.
So you deprime before you scrub down there, JH?
Always, yes, sir. I use the Lee Universal decapping die. I think it's important to use that die rather than your sizing die with the decapping pin in it. Coffee cans are your friend, man.
I seen that, Jamie. It's like, hey, wait a minute, I got one of them too.
Man, you guys are all fancy and shit, man. All my coffee cans say great value on them.
No, you save the good ones so people think that you're giving them the good coffee when they come down. Oh crap, Scotsman's on here.
Hey man, free coffee's free coffee. As long as it's not from Starbucks, I don't give a shit.
So what's wrong with Starbucks? They're liberal.
Yeah, they don't support the second, dude.
They are big anti-gun, anti-2A.
I will not support their business.
Well, I'm glad to know that because I've got one right down the street from where I work. And I don't go in there to buy their cups of coffee. I would go in, well, I got a gift card from there. So I went in and bought a pound of beans. I like to grind my coffee and then as I'm using it, so it got that very fresh taste. So, yeah, I won't be going back to Starbucks anymore. I'm getting ready to place an order with BRCC, Black Rifle Coffee Company. And we have in the other direction from my shop, within sight of where I work, we have a new coffee company called Lumina. So I've not tried that out yet. But then Pop's Quest. Is he on the side chat? He's not.
No, they're at the 3-gun. They're probably still busy on 3-gun.
Did you see that video? It says, be good at it. Roast your own coffee at home. And I'm like, duh, man, come on, get real. Something else I got to learn to do? Yeah, so if I could find coffee beans and learn to roast them myself, think about it, guys. That'd be the ultimate of fresh coffee. But where do you get raw coffee beans?
You got to get some coffee bean plants and go out there and put yourself a garden in right beside your tobacco plants. That way everything is non-GMO. All your bad habits.
Well, there you go. So Thoughts of an Old Soldier said Black Rifle's awesome coffee. So I got to try some of that.
Yeah, I need to get
Mario suspecting that he's talking about the Star word. Those assholes did not send us coffee to Iraq because they did not believe in war. Yeah, they're not only are they bad at they're anti-2A. They're anti-patriotic. They're absolutely horrible at making coffee. Their freaking coffee tastes burnt. It tastes like absolute freaking crap. And so yeah, I do not support Starbucks in any way. I morally oppose them, and I want to beat children that buy it because they think it tastes fine.
So what I was going to say to Mario earlier about Headspace, I think I might have already said it. Mario, there's a group on Headspace for the those presses that you and I both have, that turret, 4-hole turret press. So you need to go over to Headspace and join that group. And I also have some. I got to cast you up some of those 101 grain. I thought I had enough to just send you, so, but I don't. I'm gonna have to cast you up some 101 grain 3.56 lead bullets, and it's a 2-cavity mold. I've got a few of them. Y'all want to see them? He was looking for something to use for 380. Let me go over here and see if I can find some right quick.
Josh is calling you out, Jan.
I don't know who that shill thinks he's seeing, but it ain't me.
How does Josh even know the right terms for these coffees?
Well, and I could be wrong. That might be even spelled properly. I don't even really know.
I wouldn't.
It's horrible coffee, horrible company. Wouldn't support them if they gave away polish your chrome while you drink your coffee at home campaign. Wouldn't support them at all.
Why is it so dark in here? I got 2 light bulbs over my head and it's still showing dark. Let's see. Maybe it's the sweater.
That's probably why.
Let me take the sweater off. It's the sweater.
Yeah, that definitely brightens it up. That brightens it up. I got one of those fancy ring lights that sit in front of me. It's, and on top of that, I've got an umbrella light that sits up off to my left. So I got plenty of light that works on me. But it's not like over my kitchen table. So
here you go. That's a Lee 101 grain 3.56 powder coated with Harbor Freight red. Can y'all see it? Well, you could if I didn't drop it. Let me get some pliers. Here we go.
Elvis.
Mario, what do you think, buddy? You think that'll work for 380?
Oh, Mario needs that for a 380?
Yeah, it's a 101 grain 3.56.
Is that his wife's gun?
That's his daily carry.
Oh, that's Mario's daily carry? I thought Mario was like a big guy grown up.
No, he hasn't grown up yet.
Have any of us? The only thing that's changed is the price of our toys, guys. Get real. There you go. And that's about all I have of them. I'm going to dump them.
With the lighting the way that it is, it almost looks like caramel snacks.
Yeah, well, they're red. The Harbor Freight red. Those are good looking. They're good looking little bullets, but I'm concerned if that's going to be too heavy for 380. I just don't know. I don't think it will be.
Ask Kyle. Kyle does 380.
What about it, Kyle? You still out there? let us know. I've gave Kyle some of those bullets, and he's saving them to start doing 380. So I'm pretty sure they'll work. I just gotta cast up some for Mario. Kyle said yay. So
Well, Mario did say that his 380 is his backup gun. Well, that's right. They can only have 10 rounds in a mag out there where he lives. That's just another reason to move to a free state where you don't have to carry a backup gun because you got enough in a magazine of 17 rounds or more to take care of business.
Bacon, don't start. Who's the naked old guy? I need to get my sunglasses. Bacon, we couldn't see him when he had that black sweater on. So, yeah, there you go.
I mean, there, naked. I'm wearing a shirt.
Thank God.
Alan's bragging on his lights. They're so bright over at his place, we can just about see his veins.
Well, Daniel's about making me wanting to break out the sleeveless shirts again, though. And we all know how that worked out last time. I mean, it's not a pretty thing.
I mean, my last two videos, I'm wearing this shirt. I'm trying to get rid of these subscribers. I mean, I just want the people that are in the community to come visit my stuff. Subs got to go. Community could stay. Subs got to go.
I hear you. I hear you. I did that giveaway on my channel for 300 subscribers so I could give back, and get some attention to some of these guys that didn't have as many subscribers even as I have. And I'm still a very small channel, but my sub count went from like 305 to 365 in a 2-week period doing that thing. So, but I appreciate all my subscribers, and I hope we accomplished what we wanted to. It was really fun to have Scotsman on and help us with the giveaway.
Yeah, it was good, man. I still got to get those packages out. I got the brass still sitting right here. I got to get that out. That's going to Bullet Man. Per the request of the winner.
Cool. I haven't seen or heard from Full Ed Taco, who won the drawing, and he won the red dot. But according to my tracking number, he has received it. The other package, Single Shot, did get his bullets that I sent him. I made him up some bullets and sent to him. And he does the Thompson Center Encores and stuff like that. So he's shooting single shot tack drivers, guys. So that's pretty cool.
All right, I think we'll go ahead and kill this, whatever this was tonight.
I have one question before we start to shut this down, Scotsman. I have one question. It's rude for regular people to talk with food in their mouth. Is it rude for a deaf person to talk with food in their hands? I just wanted to get a consensus, find out if that was true or not. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay.
I think if you have to ask, it doesn't matter.
I think in this group, no one really gives a shit. So I think we're all right.
What if they're blind and while they're eating, they try to read your lips with their fingers?
All right.
Daniel, ask a woman, hey, your hair looks great. Can I touch it? She says yes, and you rub her upper lip. Is she allowed to get upset?
When she shoots you, the judge is going to say that's justified.
All right. Anyway, we'll start with Daniel. What you got, man?
Oh man, I don't know. What do I got going on? I have no idea. I've thrown the challenge out there for you guys to show me how to walk and shoot at the same time so I can learn something. And all in the end, you know, my channel, it's just all about Daniel. That is all about me.
Awesome. Good deal. Michael.
Well, I'm still waiting for my dies to get in for my 5095, which I just recently got. I got some bullets, some 300 grain Barnes bullets that I want to load into some Bertram brass that I purchased a while back. I have some 45 long Colt that I want to start loading up as well. Unfortunately, and I got to apologize to Tim over at PC Bullet Empire. I haven't yet been able to fire up that pot, that melting pot that him and MCK were gracious enough to send out to me. So I apologize for that. I just haven't had, the weather hasn't cooperated with me. So, but hopefully I'll be able to do that soon and melt down some of that lead that Jamie was kind enough to send out to me. So I can load up. I got this Lee mold that was inspected by Shirley. So I can load up some 45 Colt with that, or at least see if I can load it up. I don't know if I'm going to have to size that or not. I might, but it should work in my Ruger Old Army because I'm going to be loading up for that conversion cylinder. And then, like I mentioned earlier, Kyle wanted to know more about the black powder stuff. So I think later this month, I'm going to be heading down to Southern Illinois again to meet up with Crooked Creek Shooting and PEX 2A America and Pro Carry Trucker, and hopefully do a little shooting. And hopefully by then I'll have my 5095 all loaded up and ready to go and do some test loads with that. And I think that's about it for me. I want to thank all you guys for inviting me on. And I want to thank Alan and Scotsman. Thank you very much. I know you saw my video earlier, and I really didn't get to, get out what I really meant to say in that video. That dang Braveheart always chokes me up and gets my emotions going. I totally lost my train of thought on that on that video. But brother, I want to just reiterate, if it weren't for you and if it weren't for this show, I wouldn't be acquainted with the many, many wonderful people that are involved in this community. And I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart, man.
Appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's why we do this, man, so we can get other people involved and introduce other channels and stuff like that. So always good. All right, Jamie, what you got?
I'm gonna be 10 men sent me some straight wall bullets, so I'm gonna be loading up some of these for 9mm and trying them out. They're 137 grain straight sided. MCK sent me some lighter bullets, and I got lots of loading projects to do, so kind of watch on my channel for that kind of stuff. I've still got 3 rifle ladder loads I got to get to the range and make videos about that. But next on my agenda is going to be my hashtag TS2000 video. Scotsman, you're well loved and well respected in the community, brother. So thank you for having me on, and thanks for letting me call you my friend. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it, brother, very much. All right. I appreciate everyone in the side chat. I appreciate everyone here. I don't have a whole lot going on this week. We'll see what comes out. We'll get there. With that being said, I'm going to swing it over to Alan to take us out.
Very, very good. Very good, man. Right at the last moment, we get a happy Mother's Day fuckers from Pops. I'm hoping we got our thumbs down. Also, Shortly above that is a link to the Bearded Seabees TCS 2000. If you don't know what that's about, click the link, check it out. There's already quite a number of VRs going in towards that. Absolutely good stuff. I am hoping to be able to get a couple of things accomplished this week and get some content put onto the channel. Not sure how that's all going to work out with the weather and the wars that I'm having with certain people, family members, and my inner demons. But other than that, I appreciate everybody that showed up here, the panel members and everybody out in the side chat. That's just been hopping all night. Thank you very much, everybody. As always, keep the magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Thanks a lot, everybody.